Hey everyone, Newt3012 here. Thank you guys for watching. This is going to be my first ever Let's Read on the channel. It's called Higurashi When They Cry. This is supposed to be a very unnerving thing to read. There's supposed to be 3 or 4 chapters. I plan on doing all of them. This is going to be going on while Danganronpa is going on. I just wanted to give that a little bit of a time to get set up and kind of latch on to the meat of the story in Danganronpa instead of immediately cramming something else into it. I plan on adding other stuff down the line as I get a good backlog of everything that I'm going to end up recording. So eventually I'll be just pumping out those videos at least once a day, if not 2 a day. At least I'm going to try. Big word is try in that sentence. So let's just get on in it. I have no idea, other than it's screwed up, I have no idea what else is in. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry. The Onikakushi? I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. If not, oh well. I don't care that much. Will be the opening inviting you into this world. Don't play though. Please, just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you enjoy the reward. I hope it's not hard. I mean, I heard it's just reading. Good God, that's scary. Nothing's worse than fucking children laughing. Please do not lament. I will forgive you, even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you, even if you will not forgive the world. Please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Berncastel. Sure. Oh. This is a work of fiction. What the fuck was that noise? 1983 AD. Oh, ew. The fuck was that noise? If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. What? I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself it was in such a silly, sobering voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitive sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. I still hear cicadas. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. What? The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe. I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. So this guy's being, like, cut apart? My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times, I'd wavered over whether I should have just thrown the battered thing away. Except I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I still feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright just to take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her, like flowers by a grave. Fuck. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Ew, because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Ooh, God, that's some brutal sound effects, though. Not liking that. What the fuck have I gotten into? Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I had last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the sidewalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. God, they're really throwing out the fucking big words now. Jesus. The place where I live isn't nearly as lively. There is only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean that there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody's still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a little bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, if I shot someone, they sure as hell aren't going to accept, "Oh, I'm sorry." You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she's apologizing, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one who she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Keiichi, we're almost there. I hope this is a male talking, because this person now has a male voice. Wake up. I was finally aroused from my nap by my father's prodding, thank God. That had turned into his mother, she's keeping that voice. Just because I think it would be kind of funny. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even in the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. Looks nice though. I mean, like the backdrop art, it looks nice. Kind of faded looking, which gives it a nice look to it, I think. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. Sure, that's English, I guess. The fuck? There where I live now, Hinamizawa. And just for you guys to remember, I'm English, so if I screw up some of these Japanese names, I'm sorry. If I screw up any Japanese words, again, sorry. I try my best. I'll probably screw up more with the English words than the Japanese, to be honest. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Verdant expanse? The fuck? Is that even a word? Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I never tell him that, though. Mom laid out breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. God, that's quite a bit. You know, I'd have fucking toast. Or like cereal in the morning. God. Fucking restaurant over here. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early ever since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will it be half? Pile it on. God, for some reason I could not say full bowl. Jesus. First I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person, even when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school, and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Yeah, it's a real dick move, dude. Jesus. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rena-chan? Hurry, hurry. Mom seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. No, it wouldn't. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Classic example of a stalker right there, dude. Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I had known that, I would have savored them a bit more. I assume she's saying that. Morning. At least I assume. Keiichi-kun, good morning. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that'll ever happen, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. At those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Forever? Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone with this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but she was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she ever did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine just to be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Rena? Or was it your mom? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed, and as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Rena, or was it your mom? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Pretty good. Just like the last one. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like an average person. Or so I decided to myself. Let's go. If we keep... I assume this is her. Nah, I'll just say it's me. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she'd just kept spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we could make our ways to school. Thank God I made the right choice there. This strange, easy, flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. What's strange? Mi-chan, good morning! Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noting us, she waved. Finally. You two are late. Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Rena, and it's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years? I was only off 2 days. Haha, you don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze stared at my chest and then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Jesus. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then? Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Oh god, dude, it's kinda creepy. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time. Right now is fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh air? What the fuck am I reading? Jesus Christ. Am I gonna have to fucking cancel this before it even starts? Jesus. I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure did act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha! Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in a near panic. Hey, hey, hey! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and fluttered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. Jesus Christ. How was it? Seeing the city again. Oh, that's probably Hurt speaking. Whoops. How was it seeing the city again? Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting than a pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for. You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I don't have any time to look around in toy stores. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know? It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is it about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled. Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them sent to you in the mail, can't you? Well, guess I have to now. I'm guessing to get another game full of hot action. This time I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a few different ones. According to Rena, Mion's room was kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you'd like I'd understand, let me play too. Of course. If Kei-chan is up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. Oh, okay, no. God, I wish it gave him like an actual cue saying who's talking. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Whoa. Then I'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bursting with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave an affirmative wink and her expression perked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I moved here less than a month ago. I understand that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I'll have to try harder to fit in. They won't feel like they have to try and make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably help be about right for this place. Well, I think that's going to be a good ending point for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, we actually get to the good parts and not Keiichi act like he's a fucking pedophile. Well, not a pedophile, but a pervert. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys stay in tune for next time.